Welcome to the Full Tracy Money Audio Commentary. This is Owen Tracy recording, and it's 3:03 p.m. and that is Central Time, and today is November 7th. I thought we'd kick off and look at Russia. The RTS index is up at a new recovery high, the highest level it's been at in almost a year. And that is despite the fact that natural gas prices were down today in the USA at least. And we had a downward dynamic in crude oil prices. So something else must be going on. And then the Russian ruble was stronger against the euro, and the euro has been quite firm recently. So there is the rather uncomfortable conclusion, perhaps, that Russia is winning the war, and that the stalemate that has, I think, evolved over the last several months in Ukraine is probably a picture of what we might expect the map to look like a couple of years from now. Something that we've seen in the past, at least historically, is that stock markets generally bottom and well in advance of the end of a war. And the Russian stock market going up right now, well, that is beginning to suggest that war fatigue is setting in Europe and in the USA, and that the supply of arms to Ukraine is not as sure as it was in the past. And I think people are also engaging in a little bit of realpolitik, that there has been an enormous surge of refugees, and that the cost of housing all those people when they're not working is rather high. That was brought, I think, abundantly clear to me, at least, when I visited home in Ireland this summer. And there are 4,000 hotel rooms that are being occupied by refugees in Killarney. And that's certainly something that both pushes up the cost of holidaying in the region for everybody else, both foreign and domestic tourists. Obviously, it's good news for the hotel sector. But what it also helps to highlight is that there is no other accommodation. And this is something that is evident everywhere else as well. So that is, of course, also contributing to the populist and the more right-wing focus on refugees and migrants. And of course, refugees aren't the only migrants. There are lots of others as well. And Russia has been fomenting unrest in a large part of the Sahel in Africa. And there's been a constant flow of migrants as well. So it's obviously a difficult time to maintain cohesion for Europe, and the European stock market is fairly steady, and Russia's doing quite well. Well, I think that's beginning to suggest here that the rumors that European governments are pressuring Ukraine into negotiations might not be far of the mark. Then when we look at everything else that's going on in here today, well, we had the Asian markets were a little bit weaker, but not in an especially dynamic manner. The Nikkei, for example, was in negative territory. The Chinese market was up a little. Then when we think about the downward dynamic that we had in the oil price, well, then that's certainly beginning to suggest that the risk premium is coming out. And we had a positive move in Wall Street today. It was led higher by some of those cloud companies. Datadog, for example, was up in excess of 20%. That was on strong earnings, strong guidance. So it's certainly lending some credence to the view that the benefits from artificial intelligence are more widely dispersed. So let's crack on then and look at some of these charts.